Hello, I'm Dr. David Thompson. For over 3 decades, I have walked the halls of hospitals and sat in private consultation rooms, looking into the eyes of thousands of men and women. And there is one look I recognize instantly. It is the look of a person who feels their independence slipping away. Let me tell you about Martha. Martha was 68 years old, living in a quiet, leafy suburb in Virginia. When she first came to see me, she didn't walk into my office. She was half carried by her daughter, Sarah. Martha's face was a ghostly pale. Her ankles were so swollen they spilled over the edges of her shoes, and her hands shook so violently she couldn't sign the intake form. Her blood pressure was 195/110. For those of you watching who know those numbers, you know that is crisis level. She had been on 5 different pharmaceutical drugs, yet every morning she woke up with a pounding headache and a sense of impending doom. Her previous doctor had told her it was time to consider assisted living. They were touring nursing homes because she could no longer safely navigate her own stairs. Martha told me, through tears, "Dr. David, I feel like a prisoner in a body that's failing me. I just want to see my grandson Martha told me without being a burden." Tears. Dr. Today, as I film this, Martha is 71. She lives in her own home. She gardens for 3 hours every morning. Last month, she sent me a photo from the top of a hiking trail in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Her blood pressure, a rock-solid 116/74. She is on 0 medications. How did she do it? It wasn't a miracle pill. In fact, it was a simple, natural method, a series of morning adjustments that 97% of modern doctors overlook. Why? Because medical school teaches us how to manage sickness with chemicals, not how to cultivate wellness with biology. In this video, I am going to guide you through the exact implementation of the Martha Protocol. I will show you the 5 morning mistakes you are likely making right now that are forcing your blood pressure to spike, and I will give you the science-backed, food-based solutions to reverse the damage. Before we dive into the science, I want to see who is in the room with us. This is a community of people who refuse to just get old gracefully. We want to get old powerfully. Please, stop right now and go to the comments. Type in your age, your most recent blood pressure reading, and one symptom you are tired of living with, whether it's fatigue, dizziness, or just the fear of a stroke. I want you to hear me clearly. If your blood pressure is high, it is not because you have a deficiency in lisinopril or amlodipine. It is not simply genetics, and it is not an inevitable part of aging. In my 30 years of experience, I have found that 90% of hypertension cases are driven by a deficiency in 3 specific bionutrients that act as the flexible glue for your arteries. When these nutrients are missing, your blood vessels become as brittle as an old garden hose left in the sun. Today, we start the repair process. My name is Dr. David Thompson. I spent 15 years in cardiovascular research and another 15 in clinical practice focusing on geriatric and metabolic health. My channel isn't about hacks or quick fixes. It is about scientific nutrition. I have seen the dark side of the pharmaceutical industry. I have seen patients lose their kidney function, their libido, and their mental clarity to the side effects of blood pressure management. My mission is to give you the tools to stay independent. I want you to be the one driving your car, playing with your grandkids, and living in your own home until you're 100. I've treated over 10,000 patients. What I'm about to share is the distilled wisdom of those 10,000 stories and the rigorous science that supports them. Your body is always talking to you. The problem is, we are taught to ignore the whispers until they become screams. Let's do a quick self-test. I want you to count how many of these 5 common symptoms you've experienced in the last 30 days. 1. The morning lead head. You wake up and your head feels heavy, almost like it's filled with lead, with a dull throb at the base of your skull. 2. The tinnitus ring. You notice a high-pitched ringing or a pulsing sound in your ears when you lie down in a quiet room. 3. The peripheral swelling. By the end of the day, your shoes feel tight, or you see deep red marks from your socks around your ankles. 4. The vision flicker. You occasionally see floaters or tiny sparks of light when you move your head too quickly or stand up from a chair. 5. The unexplained shortness of breath. You find yourself winded after walking up a single flight of stairs, something that was easy for you just 5 years ago. How many did you count? 1, 3, all 5. Please, comment your number below. If you have more than 2 of these, you are likely suffering from chronic endothelial ischemia. In plain English, your blood vessels have lost their spring. They are inflamed, they are under oxidative stress, and they are rusting from the inside out. This rust makes it impossible for your heart to push blood through without using dangerous levels of force. Let's get into the 5 mistakes and the 5 life-saving solutions. 1. Mistake, the adrenaline jumpstart, caffeine on an empty stomach. Most office workers and busy moms wake up and immediately head for the coffee pot. When you do this, you are hitting your flight or fight button before your body has even had a glass of water. This causes a surge in cortisol, which tells your arteries to clamp down. The solution, the nitric oxide elixir, concentrated beetroot. Meet Jim, a 55-year-old software executive. Jim lived on black coffee. His morning BP was 165/100. He started drinking 250 milliliters of beetroot juice 20 minutes before his coffee. Within 3 weeks, his systolic pressure, the top number, dropped by an average of 14 points. He told me, "I don't feel that internal vibration anymore." Beetroot is a powerhouse of inorganic nitrates, NO3. When you drink it, something fascinating happens. Your tongue has specific bacteria that convert these nitrates into nitrites, NO2. When these reach your stomach acid and eventually your bloodstream, they transform into nitric oxide, NO. Nitric oxide is a signaling molecule. It enters the smooth muscle cells of your blood vessels and tells them to relax. Think of it like natural WD-40. It takes a stiff, rusted pipe and turns it into a flexible, rubbery tube. This process is called vasodilation. A 2013 study published in the journal Hypertension, American Heart Association, found that patients who consumed a glass of beetroot juice daily saw a drop in blood pressure that was equivalent to, or better than, many single drug therapies. The effect was measurable within just 2 hours. Practical guide. The protocol: juice 1 medium-sized raw beetroot with half an apple and a slice of ginger. The golden time: drink this immediately upon waking, on an empty stomach. The combination: you must consume this with a source of healthy fat, perhaps a few walnuts, to ensure the fat-soluble vitamins associated with vascular health are absorbed. Note: if you find the taste too earthy, use a high-quality fermented beetroot powder. Have you ever noticed your heart racing after that first cup of coffee? That's the spike we want to avoid. Tell me in the comments if you're a coffee lover. Mistake 2. The thermic shock, ice-cold water. Many health gurus suggest drinking ice-cold water to wake up the metabolism. For someone over 50 or a postpartum woman with sensitive hormones, this is a mistake. Cold water causes peripheral vasoconstriction. It shocks the vessels, making them tighten, which sends your blood pressure upward. The solution: the vascular relaxant, Hibiscus sabdariffa tea. Elena, 52, a teacher and mother of 3. She suffered from chronic stage 1 hypertension. We replaced her cold morning water with warm hibiscus tea. After 4 weeks, her BP went from 145/92 to 128/80. She described it as an internal melting of tension. Hibiscus flowers are loaded with anthocyanins and polyphenol. These act as a natural ACE inhibitor. In the medical world, ACE inhibitors are a class of drugs, like lisinopril, that prevent the body from producing angiotensin II, a chemical that causes blood vessels to narrow. Hibiscus does this through a plant-based pathway. It's like having internal sunglasses for your arteries, protecting the delicate lining, the endothelium, from the heat of high pressure. The Journal of Human Hypertension, 2009, published a study showing that drinking hibiscus tea twice daily was as effective as some common medications for patients with type 2 diabetes and hypertension, with 0 side effects on the kidneys. Practical guide. The recipe: use 2 teaspoons of dried organic hibiscus, not the sugary tea bags. Steep in 12 ounces of hot water for 10 minutes. The golden time: drink this warm, not boiling, minutes after your beetroot juice. Avoid: do not add sugar or artificial sweeteners, as these cause inflammation. A squeeze of lemon is perfect, as vitamin C works synergistically with anthocyanins to strengthen vessel walls. Hibiscus has a wonderful, tart flavor. Do you like tart drinks, or do you struggle with the taste? Mistake 3. The glycemic spike: refined breakfasts. Toast, cereal, or even healthy granola. These are refined carbs. They spike your blood sugar, which causes a massive release of insulin. High insulin is a sodium magnet. It tells your kidneys to reabsorb salt rather than flushing it out. More salt equals more water in the blood equals higher pressure. The solution: the arterial shield, freshly ground flax seeds. Robert, a 62-year-old retired pilot. Robert had stiff arteries, a condition we call arteriosclerosis. He started adding 30 grams of ground flax to his morning routine. Within 6 months, his pulse wave velocity, a measure of arterial stiffness, improved by 25%. He could drive long distances again without his legs feeling like they were bursting. Flax seeds are the richest plant source of lignans and alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. Think of lignans as biological polishing pads. They travel through your bloodstream and help clear away the oxidative rust on your vessel walls. ALA, an omega-3 fatty acid, acts as a softening agent. It's like putting leather conditioner on an old, dry belt. It restores the snap and flex to your heart's pipes. The journal Hypertension, 2013, published the Flax Pad trial. It found that 30 g of milled flaxseed daily resulted in one of the most potent antihypertensive effects ever achieved by a single dietary intervention. Practical guide. The recipe: 2 to 3 tablespoons of freshly ground flax seeds. The golden time: mix them into a bowl of plain, full-fat Greek yogurt or unsweetened almond milk. Crucial note: you must grind them yourself in a coffee grinder. Whole flax seeds have a shell so tough that your stomach acid can't break it. They will pass through you unused. Note: store the seeds in the freezer to keep the delicate omega-3 oils from going rancid. How many of you have flax seeds in your pantry right now? Are they ground or whole? Comment ground or whole below. Mistake 4. The digital cortisol, checking the news. For office workers especially, checking emails or the news while still in bed is a disaster. It triggers a micro-stress response. Your heart rate climbs, your breathing becomes shallow, and your body enters defense mode. The solution: the magnesium buffer, spinach and pumpkin seed base. Sarah, 42, a postpartum mother struggling with postpartum hypertension and sleep deprivation. Her BP was fluctuating wildly. We introduced a magnesium green bowl at 9 a.m. Within 2 weeks, her spikes vanished, and she reported feeling emotionally resilient for the first time since the baby was born. Magnesium is known as the master relaxant. It is a natural calcium channel blocker. Calcium is what makes muscles, including your heart and the muscles lining your arteries, contract. Magnesium is what makes them let go. If you are low on magnesium, your body is like a car with the gas pedal stuck to the floor. Magnesium is the brake pedal. It regulates the sodium-potassium pump at a cellular level, ensuring your heart beats with rhythm and ease. A 2016 meta-analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reviewed 34 clinical trials and concluded that a median dose of 368 milligrams of magnesium significantly reduced both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Practical guide. The protocol: create a power base of 2 cups of raw organic spinach and 3 tablespoons of raw pumpkin seeds, pepitas. The golden time: eat this as a mid-morning snack or blend it into a green smoothie. Note: magnesium works best when paired with vitamin B6, found in the spinach, and healthy fats, found in the pumpkin seeds. Do you feel a sense of tightness in your chest when you look at your phone in the morning? That is the sign you need this magnesium buffer. Mistake 5. The hidden salt in processed breakfasts. Healthy turkey sausage, store-bought muffins, or even low-fat cottage cheese are often loaded with hidden sodium to enhance flavor. This sodium pulls water into your blood vessels, increasing the volume pressure. The solution: the phthalate release, organic celery. Case study: Arthur, 70, from Florida. Arthur loved his full American breakfast. His BP was a dangerous 180 to 105. We kept his eggs but swapped the processed meats for 4 stalks of celery with almond butter. After 3 weeks, his diastolic pressure, the bottom number, finally dropped below 90. He said, "I feel like the pressure cooker in my chest has been turned off." Scientific mechanism: celery contains a unique phytochemical called 3N-butylphthalide, 3NB. This compound is a smooth muscle relaxant. But it does something even better: it acts as a natural diuretic. Unlike pharmaceutical diuretics, water pills, that can flush out too much potassium and leave you dehydrated and dizzy, celery gently coaxes the kidneys to release excess sodium and water while keeping your electrolyte balance in check. It's like opening a drainage valve on a swollen dam. Research published in the Natural Medicine Journal, 2013, showed that celery seed extract and the vegetable itself significantly reduced BP in humans without the common side effects of prescription diuretics, such as fatigue and brain fog. Practical guide. The dosage: 4 stalks of fresh, organic celery. The golden time: eat them raw as part of your breakfast or mid-morning snack. Note: do not cook the celery to death, as heat can break down the 3NB compound. Raw or very lightly steamed is best. Pro tip: if you hate the strings in celery, juice it. But eating the fiber helps with the insulin trap mentioned in mistake number 3. Do you like celery? Many people find it boring, but when you think of it as nature's pressure valve, it tastes a whole lot better. My dear friends, let's look at the big picture. If you want to live a long, independent life, if you want to be like Martha, hiking at 71, you must stop treating your body like a machine that needs fixing and start treating it like a garden that needs nourishing. Summary of the morning protocol. 1. Stop the caffeine shock. Start with a beetroot nitric oxide elixir. 2. Stop the cold water shock. Replace it with warm hibiscus tea. 3. Stop the carb spike. Shield your vessels with ground flax seeds. 4. Stop the stress response. Buffer your system with magnesium-rich greens. 5. Stop the sodium load. Open the valves with 4 stalks of celery. Final advice. I am a physician, but I am not your physician. Please, do not stop your medications abruptly. Take this video to your doctor. Tell them, I want to implement these 5 science-based nutritional changes. Can we monitor my pressure and see if we can slowly reduce my dosage? In my experience, most doctors are thrilled to see a patient taking this much responsibility for their health. High blood pressure is not a death sentence. It is a check engine light. It is your body asking for help. If you found this information valuable, if you feel a sense of hope for the first time in a long time, please subscribe to this channel. My goal is to help 1 million people reclaim their independence through the power of scientific nutrition. Click that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive on the 3 bedtime foods that prevent overnight heart strain. I'm Dr. David Thompson. Your health is your greatest wealth. Let's protect it together.